Hello, this video lecture will complete the lecture that we couldn't finish last time. So this is slide 20. That's basically what we stopped last time in the classroom. So this what talks about the other two topics. The first topic is very short. It's about cost allocations and contract disputes. So basically we're talking about for the contractor, how are we going to pay them? Okay, how are we going to allocate the cost and these issues? So I will basically just go through some of the bulletin points quickly, and you might want to read the pages in the textbook. And the idea is very simple. It does not have a lot of quantitative things. The first thing we're looking at a contractor. So the contract can be basically a contract of a government, can be contract of a big business corporation, so can be private, can be the government, or can be, so basically can be all kinds. So there are two different models normally we're looking at. So one thing is about the billing model. So a contractor can be paid at a set price without analysis of actual contract cost of data. So it's a billing. So the billing is kind of an advantage for the person who try to outsource the business part of their business. Okay, for example, the government wants to build a building, so they will basically say, okay, so whatever construction company can give me the lowest cost without sacrificing the quality or requirements I need, then I'm going to let you construct the building for me. So this is about a building model. And the building model, some companies, they want to get a long-term relationship with their customers. So sometimes they're willing to sacrifice their profits very much. Just like if you have ever spoken with some auditing firms. So some auditing firms, they are going to try to bid very low to first acquire the client. Then later they gradually increase money. Because sometimes for companies, for new auditing team, it always costs a lot, because the auditing team will have to spend a lot of time to know your client very much, and try to visit the place and document everything. So if it's a continuing client, it's a lot easier. They don't have to really do the background work. They can just go there, look at the this year what's happening, and also try to complete the work. So that's kind of issue here you might want to be aware of. So if you have a spoken with any auditing auditors, you may get some idea too. So next one is the contractor can also be paid after analysis of actual contract cost of data. Okay, so in that case, this is more government oriented. So sometimes, for example, the Department of Defense, they want to come up with some nice weapon. So there are a few companies like Boeing and maybe Lockheed Martin, those companies. So they're gonna talk about the contract issues. So then they always come to the stage that the reimbursement amount is based on the actual allowable cost plus a fixed fee. The fixed fee is more like profit margin. So it's cost plus contract. For the bidding, that's more like a target price contract. So these are two different models, and I'm pretty sure we have learned the target price contract and also cost plus contract in the 221 or something like that. So these two ideas still very important in this chapter. So these are the two very basic cost allocation and contract dispute issues. So that's all you need in this piece. So next one is relatively more important. So we're looking at a very important issue called bundled products and revenue allocation methods. So bundled product, just from the name, you can guess that it's a package of two or more products or services that is sold for a single price, okay, which is quite common. So you buy a computer, you buy software, then you get a bundle, okay. But whose individual components may be sold as separate items at their own standalone prices. So that's a problem. So if you sell a computer for $500, software for $200, you may sell the bundle together for $600, which is $100 less than when you add the standalone prices. So that's the problem. Then the question is, how can we allocate the revenues? Okay, how can we going to allocate the revenues? Okay, because now you look at the bundle, then the bundle offers discount for whatever reason. So how to split the revenues? Okay, so the measures for revenue allocation actually are very similar almost the same as those we have studied for common cost allocations. So you're going to see a lot of similarities. So we're going to find out. So first of all, let's take a look at standalone revenue allocation method. So we look at product specific information. Could be selling prices, could be unit costs, could be physical units, whatever we want. So we're going to use that to come up with a weight percentage. Then use that weight percentage to allocate the bundle revenues, okay, for the individual products. So that's basically what we do. So in the next few slides and Excel work, I'm going to show you how to use a standalone method, and later on the incremental method and the Shapley value method to address all these issues. Of course, the example can be can be kind of intensive, so I'm going to pick only a few parts of that equation to show you how to apply these methods. So once again, the weights we can apply could be anything: selling prices, unit costs, physical units, could be volume, could be labor hours, could be many other weights that you plan to use. So I'm going to actually just focus on these three types of weights in the next question. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we're focusing on selling three different actually the software packages: the Word Master, Data Master, and the Finance Master. And we have their standalone selling price, and also we have their manufacturing cost. And for the bundle, we have different combinations. So we have Word Data and Word Finance Data, and three of them. Then we have the bundle price. And within the bundle, actually, we can see that it's a 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1, and 1 plus 1, and 1 plus 1 plus 1. So we are looking at actually the ratio 1/1. So it's pretty clear how to do this. So we are going to apply the standalone method, and what I'm going to do is the following. First of all, I'm going to take a look at the Word plus Data, and I'm going to apply all three weights separately. Okay, so let's focus on the Word and the Word Master and the Data Master. Okay. All right, so this is what I have here, and okay, so let's take a look at what do we have here. This is Word, this is Data, okay, and then I'm going to use so-called the standalone, okay, standalone method. This is standalone method, and I want to go back to take a look at. Okay, first let's use the selling prices as weight. So I will put a selling price here. So for the Word Master, the standalone selling price is $125. Okay, $125. For Data, I'm looking at $150. Okay, perfect. So therefore, you can come up with sort of weight. So the weight will be the following. Well, let me add them together. Okay, then this equals 125 plus 150. So we'll look at 275. So for the weight, it's going to be 125 divided by 275. So which is this number. For the Data, is going to be 150 divided by 275. Okay, so we have the weight, and if you add them together, you should get 100%. Okay, that's pretty clear. So now we're going to allocate the revenue. Okay, so it's called a revenue, okay, allocation. So you may wonder, how to apply this standalone, method. So basically, first of all, you look at the bundle revenue. Okay. If you sell, basically, if you sell, let me kind of make that a little bit smaller. Okay, if you sell the whole bundle, okay, then the price is going to be $220. So that's what I'm going to put here, $220. So now I'm going to split the 220 according to those two ratios. Okay, so for this one, it's going to be multiply this ratio by 220. Okay, oh sorry, and calculation here. Sorry, so let me repeat the calculation. It's going to be this number multiplied by the 220. So should give me this is 100. Okay, so for next one, it's going to be multiply this number by 220. Let me see. Sorry, I think there's something incorrect here, so I may have to be more careful with my calculation. So let me come here and I will do 220 multiplied by this number. Yeah, it doesn't go through the calculation. It's so weird. Okay, so hold on. Alright, so basically you do the calculation, you multiply 220 by this ratio, that's how you get a 100, and then you multiply 220 by this number, that's how you get 120. So basically that's how you allocate the revenues if you use a weight, selling prices as weight. So next I want to take a look at a different weight. Let's assume that we're using the unit cost. Okay, using the unit cost. For the unit cost, we do have the data. For the word master is 18, for the data master is 20. So I'm going to put 18 and 20 there. Okay. So that's we call the unit cost. So together we're looking at the 38. So the weight will be the following. The weight will be 18 divided by 38. Okay. And for this one, it's going to be 20 divided by 38. Okay. So if we add them together, that's how you get 100%. Okay. So finally, we can go ahead and do the similar revenue allocations, but we use a different weight. So here I also have the bundle revenue. Okay, bundle revenue. So what's happening here is what I can do is I will have the following. I will have once again the total is 220. So I'm going to multiply 220 by this rate. Okay. Then I will have 220 multiplied by this weight. Okay. Okay. So that's what's happening here. So you have two revenues recognized, okay, allocated. So that's about the unit cost. The next one we can look at we call the physical units. Okay, physical units actually is pretty simple. Okay. For physical units, actually, it's just 1, 1, 2. So basically, for every bundle, you have one word master, you have one data master, so it's 1, 1. So in terms of a weight, so you can see that it's a 50%, 50%. Okay, sorry, it's a 50%. Okay, the other one is 50%. Okay, so total is 100% for sure. So when we come to the revenue allocation, which is 220, okay, the bundle revenue, which is 220. Then all we have to do is multiply 220 by 50%, which is I don't even have to use a calculator. You just split, right? You get 110, for each. So that's all. That's all. That's all about this particular example. Okay, particular example. So let me get back to the slides. So for the rest, like Word plus finance, finance plus data, and Word plus finance and data, it's exactly the same. So very similar. So I'm going to leave them to you because practically, you just have different numbers, but all the ideas, methods are exactly the same. So then let's take a look at the other two methods, and one is called the incremental revenue allocation method. So basically, once again, you have the rank, okay, the rank, and the management decides the ranking, and then use the ranking to allocate the bundle revenues. Okay, so similar to the incremental cost allocation method. Then the Shapley value method is also the same. So basically, we're looking at the average of the incremental revenue allocation results. Then we take a look at the average. So I'm going to go through the incremental revenue allocation method first, then Shapley value method in the second place. So I'm going to pick a Word plus finance because we have done the Word plus data. So let's take a look at Word plus finance. Okay. So let me reopen this Excel file. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, I just wanted to Alright, so perfect. So what's happening here is the following. So let's take a look at Word plus Finance. Okay, Word plus Finance. So we have two products. One is called Word Master, one is called Finance Master. Then we have the bundle. Okay, we have the bundle. So we are going to use the incremental method. So first of all, I'm going to decide, okay, this is the primary and this is incremental. Okay. Alright, so because of that, we know the single price. So forgive me, so I'm going to actually push this down a little bit. So I have a standalone price. The standalone price actually are given. So we are looking at Word 125 and Finance 225. So 125, 225. Okay. So 125 and 225. That's what we get. Okay. 125, 225. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. So now the bundle price is the 280. Okay. So the bundle price is 280. Perfect. So now I'm going to figure out, okay, if I make the Word primary, then I will basically make sure I get the 125 revenues allocated to Word Master. For the Finance, is going to be the result of 280 minus 125. Okay. Then if I make the Finance primary, but the Word incremental, then we'll have the pretty much opposite situation. So for the Finance, I will make sure that I will satisfy the 225 standalone revenues, and whatever left in the bundle revenue will be given to the Word. So I will use the 280 to subtract 225. Okay, so that's what we get. So now you have a 55 and 125. So that's basically the incremental revenue allocation method. Okay, so if you have a 3, then you have a many permutations and whatever. Okay, but from the Shapley method perspective, okay, we're going to basically look at the average. Okay, the average of primary and the incremental. So in this case, I'm going to just add this 125 and 55. Okay, then divided by 2. Okay, then for the next, I'm going to add 155 to 225, then divided by 2. Okay, so still, if you want to take a look at, it's still 280, no doubt about it. But these will be the allocated revenues. So there are two different measures. Okay, for this one, it's incremental. Okay, and revenue. Okay, allocation method. So there are many different outcomes depending on how managers rank the primary products and incremental products. For the Shapley method, you get the average outcome. So it's kind of interesting here. So now we have completed the whole lecture, and I think I will have the second video lecture for some exercises. Alright, so I hope you enjoy watching the revenues, and talk to you more later. Thank you.